Ray-Ban Meta glasses are powered by Meta AI, so you can get real-time answers.
Hey, Meta, how bougie is Jade Garden?
It's a trendy spot.
What's a color that pairs with this top?
Consider dark, earthy colors, charcoal or black.
What are some good first date topics?
Consider discussing favorite travel destinations or your favorite books.
Get suggestions, inspiration, and answers from your glasses. Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Iconic style meets Meta AI.
This episode is brought to you by Blink, an Amazon company. Think you're ready for Prime Day? With up to 50% off Blink Smart Security, you will be. With crisp HD video, real-time alerts, and two-way talk, you'll know the moment your packages arrive. Save big on Blink Smart Security, starting at just $19.99 with the Blink Mini 2 plug-in camera. Shop now at amazon.com/blink.
We may live over 5,000 miles from Lincoln Financial Field, but what we lack in proximity, we make up for in film study, and each and every week, we'll be bringing you in-depth film breakdowns from across the pond and the Sooner State. Welcome to On the Shane page. I am your host, Shane Haff. You can give me a follow on Twitter at ShaneHaffNFL. I'm joined, as always, by BGN's resident film guru. It is Jonny Page. Give him a follow on Twitter at JohnnyPage9. Jonny, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm sure you mixed up the intro at the end there. There's definitely a few different things. Yeah, it's quiet time, isn't it? It is quiet time. I've scheduled a lot of Hertz articles for Bleeding Green. I messaged BLG yesterday, like, you're going to post any of them? Thinking there was something wrong with them. And he was like, no, I'm just saving them because we're soon entering the dead time and people will view that. So I'm going to save it when it's really quiet. And I was like, wow, it's not even really quiet yet. It feels very quiet. Yeah, the last of our draft series. Then we're done. So we better come up with some new ideas. So any suggestions? We've got a list of stuff we want to get to. I've got a couple of weeks away over summer, and then it feels like we're not that far away. It will go quick, and all of a sudden there'll be preseason film. So yeah, I'm good. It's a Patreon show, so I've got a drink because it's Wednesday, and why not? And it's been so hot here the last 2 days. Oh my god! I know I'm moaning about the heat every time. The last 2-3 days have been hell. Today's a lot cooler, so I don't actually think I'd have been able to record yesterday. I'd have just been miserable. But yeah, everything is good. Everything is good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I see you're not wearing the cutoff today. So
no, you can tell it's not as hot. Yeah. No green either. Just a plain white top. How boring.
Yeah, I'm having some HVAC issues, so I've got somebody coming out to look at that tomorrow. Our house is still semi-cool, but hopefully we've got nothing major going wrong there. And I don't know. It's just summer stuff, man. Summer baseball for my son. We had a doubleheader. Got home super late last night. Slept in this morning.
Nice.
Changed the transmission fluid on my van yesterday. You know, just the summer stuff podcaster does from here to there.
Yeah, see, I'm a cricket fan, so I bet there's only the UK guys are cricket guys. But UK guys, if you watch cricket, maybe you should have a Discord, get in the general chat. But yeah, it's cricket season, man. I play on Sundays. I'm watching all the time. That's feels very far away from football, doesn't it? Let's tell you what, though, there is some really good content online, and I'll give a few shout outs as well, seeing as we have very smart listeners, and there's some really good stuff that I've read of late. James Foster did a really, really good piece for Wide Left, which we mentioned obviously on the show. Probably the best writer I think out there, in my personal opinion, is Ollie Connolly, and I'm biased because he's a Brit. I also really want to get him on the show, so I'm going to message him again. Send
him this clip about him being the best writer out there.
I gave you an amazing plug. He has a Substack, and he wrote an exceptionally good article on Bryce Young, on basically how he's grown, basically, and just how offenses work. And it's really good, man. It's really, really good, just about behind the scenes, about how, like, the Panthers offense didn't really work, and how they edited it for Bryce Young, and can they sustain it. It's really, really good. It made me think a lot about, like, how you sustain offense in the NFL, and also the role of different coaches, different coordinators, not to just have a system but fit their players. 2 people quote tweeted it, and he retweeted them, and it was me and Josh Norris. Number one, Josh Norris is far more famous than I am, but he did retweet me. He does follow me, fellow Brit, so you never know. I will drop him a message after giving him a lovely shout out there and try and get him on. Yeah, any other guests you want us to get on? I mean, I can't promise Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Shout out Eric. But any other guests that we want to get on, recommend guys in the chat, anyone you're interested in. It's off-season time, so this is the time where I try and learn. I've actually saved a bunch of YouTube videos that I want to watch to improve my knowledge on a few areas of the game, as I like to do. Match Quarters has been doing some really good stuff that I want to go out there and watch. So yeah, it's the time where I try and learn as much as possible, finding it difficult with a newborn to find as much time as I used to have, but I will get there. I will get there when I get some downtime over summer.
Yeah, that's my watch list on YouTube just grows longer and longer this time of the year. And eventually, like, by September, I just delete a bunch of stuff because I'm like, all right, I'm just not going to get to it. But it is the season for increasing knowledge base, and that's always fun to do. I do want to mention before we dive in here, a little bit of housekeeping is, again, this is going to be on audio platforms. And so if you are listening on our podcast feed and you want the video, this is the last time we'll have to say this because it's our last draft show, but we cannot put the college All-22 film on YouTube or Twitter because we'll get our accounts banned. So you can listen to this and hear our thoughts as we're watching the game. The best viewing experience for film is always going to be a video medium, and the only place we can post that is in our Patreon. And so you can come to our Patreon at patreon.com/ontheshane page, and for $5 a month, the price of a Starbucks coffee, you can support our content. You can get access to all this exclusive video content, to Eric's weekly articles that he's writing, our Discord, all of those things. So, come get a free 1-week trial, and you can watch all of our draft stuff in that week trial if you want to, and cancel it if you don't think it's worth sticking around. We think you'll want to stick around. We're really proud of the content that we put out there, and this is no joke. We've had people in the Discord tell us that our prices need to come up, and we have not done that yet.
Yeah, it wasn't us that said it was you. I have wondered how else the next stage we could do. I mean, this is very open, but we're trying to smash Patreon next year, because if you look around the league, I don't mean to be too cynical, but like, journalism's just, I mean, the industry is a disaster, and I know it's hard to support content creators. I try and support as many as I can, and trust me, it's hard. I mentioned Ollie Conley just said I pay for his Substack as well, Wide Left as well, and I know it's not always easy. But if there is things you're interested in, I have wondered about people that have spoken about learning film, whether we could ever do like live film sessions where you watch it with us, and that might be a separate tier. Any ideas you've got, we are all ears. We're in a Discord every day. Just say it, and even if we don't do it, it's still worth getting your ideas across. So anything you can think of, we are open to anything. I think it's going to be a hell of a season to cover the Eagles as well. So I sort of can't wait, but I'm enjoying the downtime before the carnage begins.
I will say this: if you're like a person that likes film, which you probably do if you're around our Patreon, NFL Plus Premium is $7 a month. Our Patreon is $5 a month, and Jonny and I post so many clips, you basically don't need NFL Plus Premium. So you can think of it that way too. But anyways, if you're listening on audio platforms and you don't want to do that, we will continue to have stuff in the public feed, and we'll continue to have film stuff on the YouTube in season. We just cannot do that with college All-22 film. So I've explained that each week. I just want to make that really clear to people in case you've missed a few episodes. We know how summer gets, but enough of that. Jonny, before we dive in, I've got to ask you an offensive line play question.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Panay Sewell versus Lane Johnson. Do you care to weigh in?
Yeah, you did well.
You quote tweeted my video, but I never heard your official take. Would you like to weigh in for the people?
I mean, ever since I've watched the NFL, Lane Johnson's been the best right tackle that I've ever seen. I'm not going to talk about history. I'm not going to pretend that I studied Panay Sewell, but everyone that I trust says he is the best. Many people that I trust say he's the best of all time. I don't really see a weakness in his game currently where I go, he needs to do this better. So unless Panay Sewell is magically moving people without blocking them, I will side with Team Lane Johnson and all of the experts rather than random guy on Twitter who just wants to learn after abusing you for like 5 tweets. So that was good fun, wasn't it? That took me back to the season. A good old-fashioned Twitter argument. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And if you would like a preview of what some of the exclusive Patreon video content looks like, I did make a 12-minute video going through some of the sacks that they were throwing out there, and it is on my Twitter for free. So go check that out. if you like it, I post stuff like that weekly during the season, typically more pass game oriented. So just to give you an idea of the type of analysis that I do. But all right, Johnny, let's dive in. Today we are finishing.
I was going to say, we haven't even said what we're doing today. We're like, this is Patreon. We're like 9 minutes of waffle. And they've just got a Michigan Stadium up in the background. So tell the people what we're doing, finally.
Yeah, we are finishing our rookie watch-along series. So we have 2 guys left. We have Myles Hinton, the left tackle for Michigan, and Cameron Williams, the left tackle for Texas. And we actually have the All-22 footage from the same game for both teams. Yeah. So we're going to be watching that. We're going to start with Myles Hinton. Then we're going to go to Cameron Williams. I got a really good chuckle out of one of the comments on the Patreon video about APR. Somebody was like, "That looks like a CFL prospect."
Yeah, that was a rough game.
Yeah. And so we'll see what we see in this one. So let's dive in. And again, videos on Patreon.
Film is the one. You can read every stat in the world. But right, so this is Hinton, the left tackle. Yeah, I'm just going
left tackle number 78 for Michigan. So
yeah, big guy. I'm not too heavy on offensive line technique, so don't expect us to start grilling technique too much. Oh, this is a fancy O22 when it sometimes cuts to the widescreen. I always think it's funny. I mean, first thing to note is the man is big.
Yeah.
The man is big. 6'7", 323 pounds, big arms as well. And he looks every part of it. I think that's how big Beckton was, because I did wonder about Hinton, whether he could play guard, and I remember looking at the size of Beckton. I think the Eagles are happy to put anyone at guard.
Yeah, 87th percentile height, 80th percentile weight for Hinton at offensive tackle.
You can see the arm length as well, can't you?
Yeah.
You can see there's not a lot of, shall I say, pop immediately off the bat, but he hasn't exactly had a... He just looks big, man. He looks lengthy.
I love how he doesn't even have to block that play because the running back just blocks.
Yep. It's nice and easy.
Oh, no, that's a tight end. The tight end just stonewalls Texas's defensive end, and he's just standing there like, should I help?
That tight end better hit the gym. That man looked like a fullback.
Climbing to the second. Oh, he whiffed on the second level, though.
Whiffed there, big time.
This one's only 11 minutes, so we can skip back a little more liberally.
He looks pretty quick, but he's a bit cumbersome, isn't he?
Yeah. I would say his weight's a little... Again, I'm not a huge O-line expert, but I would say his weight's a little forward, and he's just off balance, and he misses the linebacker here.
Yeah, whenever I love offensive line articles, because whenever there's a bad rep, they just say, and I say the same as well. So, he always lunges forward. It's like the most cliche thing to say in the world. Bang. See, that's fine, but you just like to. I mean, nice run. Considering he's already been blocked there and he's laying the second one, I'd like a bit more of a pop.
Yeah.
You wonder if he could have moved a defensive tackle.
I get so irritated watching college offense because it's can we get a true drop back rep, just him one-on-one with the D end?
This is why it's such a hard position to scout. The difference between watching this and then going and face TJ Watt and edge rushers one-on-one on an island it's so different, isn't it?
Yeah. This view is switching to behind the defense is so much worse for watching offensive linemen too.
Yeah, it gives you a different thing though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just all run blocking.
Yeah, on the previous run play, I think he let the defender cross his face, which is something I always look out for as well. You want to try and... God knows when it was. I might have been a couple of clips ago.
I skipped back because you said the last play. So here we go. Let's see if this is it.
Is this the one where you let him cross his face? No, not really. No. He just doesn't really move him there, does he? Again.
Yeah.
Hands, reasonable position, but not...
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you say about that. It's just pretty vanilla stuff.
Yeah, as you said, this is one of the joys of... That was nice. This is one of the joys, though. One of the reasons why I like watching this as well is because I always get lots of questions how do teams miss in the draft? It's because it's a different sport. It's Different game, man. Like, imagine trying to judge some of this offensive line play. It's tough.
That's especially true for like quarterbacks. Trying to figure out what you're looking at with quarterbacks sometimes.
Yeah. And what you'd love to see as well, like if you're a scout, is second level stuff. We saw it once and he missed, but give him a second chance, get him on the move. You can see the size there as well, by the way. These are good offenses as well, aren't they? You know more about.
Yeah, they were both good teams.
I was going to say that's nice, and then he actually gave it
Kinda
up.
got
That
cornered.
was an interesting rep. I thought he did a decent job with his hand placement, and then he didn't sustain it, did he? And then he got done around the edge.
Yeah, soft outside shoulder lets the guy turn the corner on him.
Yeah, I think again, if that was a longer developing passing play, that'd be a sack given up. There again, a little bit weak. He did all right, but whether he got pushed back, and I'm always harsh on watching college players, but you sort of feel like you want them to be exceptional.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go up against better players. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Because that's one of the ones where this is one of the interesting things about looking at linemen is
it just gives up that outside way too
he gives
easy.
it up, but then the QB gets away with it. So it depends on the drop, doesn't it? As a player, you're meant to know what drop the QB is taking. If you know it's a couple of step drop and you know you can get away with laying him outside, that's fine.
Yeah, so far, I would just say he doesn't get enough movement in the run game, and he gives up the outside shoulder far too easily in the pass game.
I don't know if you count that as a knockdown. Yeah, it'd be really interesting, though, and then I think that's one reason why I'm liking doing this video, is I didn't scout him and Cameron Williams together. Joe, I actually haven't watched Cameron Williams, since pre-draft, because I watched him so much pre-draft, I didn't bother watching him post-draft. I had enough notes to write up about him. So it'd be interesting to watch them back-to-back, because my gut was Cameron Williams was good when I watched him. And then he went very late, and the Eagles took Hinton over him, so obviously something went wrong. But I'd be interested to see movement-wise how they compare.
Yeah, I had Cameron Williams ranked semi-highly for offensive linemen. I think I had like a third-round grade on him.
That was a very easy rep. The last couple have been good. He looks quite light to me. I don't know what you think. For a 323, he doesn't look like a bruiser. He looks pretty light feet. Like that's a really nice rep. The last couple in pass protection, you've seen why they like him.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely doesn't generate the movement in the run game you would expect, especially for a run-heavy team like Michigan.
Again,
for a big offensive tackle.
Yeah,
his pass protections definitely looked better as the game's gone on, though.
Yeah, I think he's pretty technically good. I think people question with him just the ceiling. The last few reps have been really nice. Hand placement's been really good. With offensive line,
this is also a very early game in the season. I think it's like week 2.
Yeah, it's boring, but you just want to see movement. You just want to see movement.
That looks solid, getting displacement in the running game.
Yeah, you want to see someone that looks easy on the eye, shall we say. Good old college ball.
That's bad rep.
Yeah, it's a weird one as well. It was a running play.
Lets the guy cross his face.
He didn't really get after him. It was very passive.
It looked like I think it was like a draw play.
Yeah, was it a draw play?
So he's like pass setting.
I was watching him the whole time because it was a rubbish.
Oh no, maybe not. Yeah, it's just a bad play.
He doesn't really get after him, does he?
No, not at all.
I'm such a sucker, but I just want to see a penalty. Whenever I watch an offensive lineman, I want that. That's a good rep. That was one of the most displacements. I want to see nastiness. I don't think he's nasty at all. I remember his numbers as penalty numbers are like non-existent, which is good. You don't want a guy that gets penalised a lot. Oh man, that was a rep. He got rocked there.
If you want a guy that gets penalized a lot, Cameron Williams is your guy.
Yes, they're very different.
When we get there.
The last two, if you looked at the last 2 reps, you'd think he was a UDFA. The last 2 reps have been rough.
Let's see. I'm going to look up his penalty stats for
They're
the season.
non-existent. I'm telling you, they're non-existent. They didn't happen. I think he might have had one. I remember.
He had 10.
Who?
Oh, no, that's 10 pressures. One penalty, my bad.
I was like, yeah, one penalty. I was like, Jesus, I thought I got all my numbers wrong completely.
And it was in this game.
That's one of the reps where I like. I think you want to talk about like arm length and stuff and keeping the defender off your body. You can see it. You can see flashes. He looks very... That's a really nice rep. No one to block, helped out. He looks quite... Do I dare say graceful to describe a tackle? But his pass protection, his pass sets look pretty effortless. He looks like he lacks a little bit of juice to me. Like he needs to get stronger. I think his feet-wise, he's good.
Yeah.
I think he gets knocked off balance too often. I think that's more of his problem. I think
he needs more pop in his hands.
Yes, he does. He's got light hands. He doesn't seem to like latch or drive through. You haven't really seen him get hold of someone and like really displace them.
See, like right there.
That's an interesting rep though, because let's watch that one again, because that looked to me like he was dead in the water. Like initially, he's gone.
Yeah.
But do you know what?
He loses the initial hand fight a lot.
I actually quite like the recovery. It's one of those reps that's weird because it's a bad rep, don't get me wrong. But he has the ability there. What you see a lot of offensive linemen do is when they get beat initially, they fall forward, as he did earlier on. They almost like, I mean, literally, I know I said earlier on it's a cliche, but they lunge forward. He manages to stay upright, which is a weird rep. I know in a weird way, I quite like that rep. If I'm an offensive line coach, I'm thinking, right, because at the end of the day, you're going to get beat. You're not going to be an offensive lineman and never get beat. Recovery is going to be a part of it. I think your guy
makes me think of the Lane Johnson spin move.
Shane, just quickly go back to that rep a second ago. I'm pretty sure your guy online would tell you that was his fault, that sack. In the Pele Saul Lane Johnson debate. He would definitely say this is on.
Here?
This one here. He would say this sack's on Myles Hinton. He'd say, because look, his guy is the quarterback.
His guy that he blocked perfectly and the quarterback just scrambles into him.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's strength. He's going to be a weight strength. He's going to be a hit the gym guy. He's what I thought we'd see. Light feet, moves pretty well. I think he would have got
lost
beat
that
there,
rep too.
Yeah. You just want him to get his hands don't stick. That's not an offensive line term in the slightest. I don't care for offensive line lingo. But you want him to grab the shoulder and sustain. Is that the better word rather than stick? Sustain's probably the more technical term. He doesn't sustain anything. He moves well. Like there, it's anchor. I'm fascinated to watch what Cameron Williams looks like because I'm convinced we're going to just see him look better. And we might not. And maybe I'm biased because I like Cameron Williams. So I'll try and put my bias to the side. But he was drafted ahead of him, Myles Hinton, which surprised me endlessly. Ooh. Like that's a weird one because, again, that's one I don't hate. He looks a little bit slow, but I think his recovery is actually decent in the end. I think he just does enough.
I hate it.
I think he lets defenders cross his face, doesn't he? But I think he oversets there a little bit. He's been beaten a few times on the edge.
If you're oversetting at a guy that's lined up that close to you to begin with, like that's just a bad rep. I mean, the recovery, sure, but at the point you're recovering in the quarterback's lap a half a second after the snap, it's just bad. That one was better. The guy tries to cross his face again, and he latches. But
the word I said about you used latch, I say sustain, or I said sticky earlier on, whatever you want to call it. As again, we're not going to be too technical for anyone here. That's a really nice rep. You can see flashes, can't you? And guess what? He's a sick-round pick.
Yeah.
Because you can see flashes.
If you had to play him this year, that's a disaster. But he's big, and hopefully you can get some strength and some balance things figured out. That's a good
really
rep.
Good. That's probably his best rep. Because that didn't look like a bad spin move. And again, quality of rusher. But the guy... watch that once more, just that once, because we're probably nearly at the end anyway. The speed of his hands here to redirect was really good. Look how he gets into his set as well.
Outside spin move, and he just mirrors it really well.
Yeah, that's top.
That's probably his best pass protection rep so far.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen one more inside move. Wow.
That's not a good one.
That was not... We just saw the best. I said about lunging.
Next play, same guy.
Just clip that, bang. He just, and you shouldn't see that often.
He just tries. He tries. Go ahead.
I was going to say he's got good arm length. That's the kind of thing you shouldn't be at. He's got 34.5-inch arms or something, or around then. I think his wingspan's really good. So that shouldn't be something that you see that consistently. But look at that. Look at that, man.
This is never a position you want to be in as an offensive lineman.
You don't
He's
need
leaning
to be
so far forward.
You don't need to be Braden Fulton to see that one.
Yeah. Again, you mentioned this is cliche, and I hate you for that because I say this all the time, but he's just lunging and whiffing on this one.
Yeah.
It's commonly used terminology for a reason because it's really bad, and that was a really egregious example of it. See, that's so much better. Like, again, just these back-to-back. Watch how patient he stays, and he keeps his head over his feet here. Keeps his weight back. And you can see how he mirrors, and he's just patient. Like, let the guy throw his fakes. He's got to come through you, so let him come to you. And then throw the hands. And he does such a better job of timing that up that time.
Sorry if I was looking around. I don't think my mic's picking up the lovely next door neighbour's baby going mental. But if it is, please tell me.
I don't
hear think it is. He was that upset with Myles Hinton's lunge in that previous clip that he just had enough. He had enough.
Just to be clear, when you say neighbor, you're not talking about your wife in the next room, are you?
No, I'm not. My little man's actually doing well. That would be a very... I technically live in this room, yeah. Yeah, she'd love that. Yeah. That's really nice. He said, yeah. I think how we said about 6th round picks is that it's a really good game to watch, actually. Really good game to watch because you've got every single reason. You've got why he's a 6th round pick, you've got UDFA film on there, and you've got 2nd round pick film on there. When Harry said they're like shooting for the moon, they definitely do with offensive line. There are safer tackles that are better than Myles Hinton that just have no upside. Like, he absolutely has upside. You can see physical tools, you can see the foot quickness, you can see like the body control, but the hands are not there. He lets people cross his face way too often. I think he was knocked down about 3 times in that one game. I think he oversets at times. But you also saw some good recovery. You saw there was no flags. We didn't really see anything. Annoyingly, didn't we? We didn't see any pulling like we saw one. And that's what kills you about watching these guys, is that they're so different. But to the actual NFL games that we'll ask them to see. But as you said, 6th round pick is not ready anytime soon. But there is absolutely upside there. I think just sheer size-wise and wingspan-wise, he looks like a tackle to me. As I said, I have speculated maybe you could go in at guard just simply for the sake of trying to find him a position, but it doesn't look like he'll do it anytime soon.
So now we're going to flip sides because we're watching the right tackle for Texas, Cameron Williams here. And you mentioned Myles Hinton and his just lack of penalties. He had 1 penalty on 578 snaps in 2024. Jonny, what do you think about Cameron Williams' penalties? If you were going to guess, Myles Hinton had a penalty every 578 snaps. How many snaps do you think it took on average before Cameron Williams got a penalty?
Could not tell you, but I'm guessing because he was... I'm pretty sure he gave up more than 1 a game. So I'm going to take a guess of something like 38 snaps.
It's a little better than that. It was 1 out of every 60. He had 16 penalties and 975 snaps. So we watched a guy that had 1 penalty on the year. Now we're going to watch a guy that had 16 on the year and 4 in this particular game.
Yes, he was a 1-year starter, wasn't he, at right tackle, which is why he dropped. He should not have come out of college when he did, Cam Williams. Yeah, I really liked him. He was the guy I wanted us to draft in. I had him a 3rd round grade, so I obviously got him horribly wrong. I was not alone. I know Brugler had him 3rd round. I know Braden Fulton had him 4th round, so I wasn't going mad. I didn't watch any All-22. He's one of the guys I've not watched any of him because, as I said, I watched him quite a lot pre-draft because I had a feeling the Eagles would look at him in the 3rd round. So I already had sort of enough notes to write up my film review for Bleeding Green. So I've not watched him in, it's July. When was the draft? 2.5 months or so. So this could be interesting when he looks terrible in the All-22 and we go, oh, that's why he fell to the 6th. So here you have it. And
again, we're looking at the right tackle. I think he's number 56 here. So
he's another big guy, isn't he? I don't have his size in front of me, but I know he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's big.
Simple analysis. The Eagles know what
he is. 6'5" and 6'8", 317 pounds.
Oh, already we get to see him out in space. Shame it was a fail. classic, isn't it? We didn't see that
On
once
the
with the other
move.
guy.
Yeah. I'm like having to train my eyes to look to the other side now.
Just about held up.
It's good.
Just about. Good ball.
Yeah.
Good enough. I'm also being stupid here, but you know more quality. He's playing against Michigan, isn't he? So I'm guessing he's facing better quality of opposition. Nice to see.
Yeah, I don't know who is rushing against him, to be honest. I'd have to go look it up. That was a nifty little play. Like spin around pitch
more
away.
creativity than we saw from the other offense already. That was a dry offensive film, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
They definitely like to get him out on the move. That's the second screen they've thrown on the opening drive with him out in front. So he just definitely looks like a more athletic mover.
Yes, but again,
Gave
how
up a
much that
lot of
bias
ground
because
there
they've
on that run
thrown
play,
two
though.
screens
Got
to him
pushed
already.
back quite a bit. Yeah, that good job peeking inside when his guy dropped on that play. That one, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I want to watch that again.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Yeah, go back.
Because it looks like he ignores the guy right in front of him, but somebody's immediately there to take it. I don't know.
Yeah, that
I guess
seems
they're just,
interesting.
I don't know what they're doing there. Full sliding away. Looks like they're full sliding away. I don't know. That could be a
And
blown
asking their
protection.
backs
It's just
up.
really hard to tell.
Yeah, man. Coming to the conclusion, the more I watch, I just hate backs in pass protection 90% of the time. About two that can do it. About 90% of backs just aren't good enough.
Ooh.
Yeah, I lost the hand.
That's not a very good rep for him.
No, not a disaster because he managed to get hands early on, but yeah.
He just gets
That's a
pulled,
classic
push
one where if
pulled
the
down.
QB holds the ball there
off
for another
balance.
second, sack gets given up on him, and we all complain.
I feel like he does a really good.
What was that play call?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he does a really good job of looking for work if his guy drops. I've seen that a couple times.
Yeah, bang. Yeah.
All right, that's a flag on him, but that's
Good
not
ball.
his fault. Like his quarterback just scrambles outside. I mean, you got to let him go, but if you let him go, it's a sack. So his QB is kind of being
it's a tough
stupid
one.
there.
Good ball.
It's got to feel bad when you see your whole team running downfield to celebrate and you know you held and it's coming back.
That's an interesting one again. That's like it looked like he was going to get knocked back, but if you want to watch that one again, but anchor-wise, good.
They throw so many screens.
Yeah, different offense, isn't it? Pretty comfortable in his set, hands on chest. Yeah, fine.
There are
No
no good
drama.
plays for 3rd and 21. Yeah, he doesn't anchor very well sometimes, especially against wide rushers.
Yeah.
He gets walked back into the quarterback on that one.
Too often, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I imagine again, technical-wise, I imagine it's hand placement.
Yeah.
There's
That
always a
just
million-
that and just walking back instead of hopping to reset his feet. So once you start to walk back, you're supposed to kind of take a little hop and sink your hips so you can really like stop that
Ooh,
movement.
hello.
Ooh, he
Yeah.
whiffs there.
Was there, yeah.
But he tends to just keep walking back.
Yeah, I think in pass pro you can see Hinton sets better. I also think it's different offense. We haven't really seen that many deep drops at all from Cameron Williams, where you can really see him get into his pass set.
Yeah.
A little bit more nasty of a finish there, which we always like. But I'm saying that. See, that's where he oversets.
Right.
That's
He
where
gets hands
I
on
think-
him, but he's just not on balance where he
I
can
think
do
he's,
anything
if you
with
watch
it.
that again, just really boring. But just try and watch hands and feet in sync. It's a really hard thing to see, and it's one of those things that I know scouts talk about all the time. But just want to see coordinated athletes. I think sometimes his hands and feet moves in like at different times. He's still reaching out his hands to block while his feet have not really landed. It still looks a bit clunky.
He's off balance right there, and
yeah.
Jonny, your audio's cutting in and out a little bit as we're going.
Yeah, I have
here.
noticed the video footage has as well, but behind the scenes, good, our Patreon, we're using a new system that we hate, that we're trying to figure out. So we are dealing with some tech difficulties. So I think it's connection to the stream rather than my end, which is always good fun. What a much better view. Probably wasn't that cool.
So much better.
But if it's a seriously important take of mine, I do apologise. This is so much nicer to watch him. There we go. Good. Can we just always have this angle?
Yeah, no kidding. And again, we're number 56. The right tackle is Cameron Williams. So if you are watching in the Patreon, that's the guy we're watching here. It's reps like that. It's like, we didn't block it. Oh, I remember this play. This play went viral on Twitter. Try and follow the ball on this. Can you see it? It's like he gets collisioned and the ball just disappears, and all of a sudden the running back has it. Like, where is the ball right now? And then it's just like right there beside him. So, we appear to have lost Jonny. I suppose I will keep rolling along here, and we'll see if Jonny is able to join back in. So, again, number 56 here. Quick pass set. There's not a lot going on there that we can tell much about. That's where college offenses get so difficult. He's trying to attack out really wide on this run play. And that's something I remember noting in my scouting report, is he can really struggle to reach like wide 9 aligned guys. I wondered in my scouting report if he would be better served being a interior offensive lineman at the next level. That's a really bad play. I didn't see the flag fly, but that's definite holding. So watch him again. We're kicking out to number 8 here. And his feet just aren't synced up. You never want to make initial contact with one foot up in the air like he is right here. You can see that foot's in the air as you're making contact. Like, how are you going to anchor if you've only got one cleat in the ground? So you have to time that up better. And so now, again, we're absorbing the contact, one foot in the air. We never get both feet on the ground at the same time, and then we hold. That's where you need to, when you feel that happening, you have to hop backwards and set both feet into the ground. And that's how you kind of get back on track. So we'll watch it again, and I won't pause it, but just watch how his feet are never synced up with the contact here. And we just get walked back, and then we turn and hold. So I did not see the flag fly from the back, but that definitely should have been a holding penalty on Williams. So it looks like he got away with one there. Just not a good rep. And yeah, a little spinner play, action play. I totally lose track of him on that play, but that's not a real blocking rep anyways, so we'll keep it rolling. Yeah, and again, you can just see he's not very comfortable. He's not very comfortable getting out to a wide alignment. We're a wide alignment here, and he blocks it. And he just kind of misses. So there we go. Jonny appears to be back. Is Jonny back? Johnny's back.
Am I back? Do I exist?
You're back.
Can't tell if my internet was being useless or if the new rubbish system we use is being useless, and I don't know. So I'll monitor it. But for some reason, my internet seems to be a bit slow, but now it seems to be fine. So I don't know. I can't tell if the stupid thing's making the internet worse or not. Who knows? Let's see if we can get through some very important film. I'm sure you can do some magic.
Yeah.
Cropping.
Yeah. I went through some more plays while you were gone. You want me to skip back or just keep going from here?
Was there anything radically important that I desperately need?
Nah, there was one rep I showed that I kind of went through how he gets walked backwards instead of anchoring, but I think we're good to keep rolling.
Yeah, let's rock.
You can go back and watch it later if you want to. So I just pointed out on a couple plays, he does a really poor job against wide alignments, getting out to them and getting his feet synced up with contact.
That's sort of
and I looked back at my scouting report. Yeah, and I looked back at my scouting report, and I remember saying that was an issue and that I wondered if he would need to kick inside in the NFL.
Yeah, I always thought he opened his hips too early and was susceptible to inside moves as well. Good throw, not...
College quarterbacking is always an adventure.
Yeah, he's off balance too often, isn't he? But both of them are, to be fair. Both of them. Like, that's the stuff I was going to say you like, but he didn't. I think he done enough, but yeah, you'd like to see him anchor a little bit better.
And again, it's a wide alignment, and this is what I pointed out on the one you weren't at. He never takes that engagement with both feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Which makes it really hard to anchor. Like, now he's got both feet down, and immediately the next one comes up, and he just shuffles. So you can watch at full speed again. Just watch. At the contact, he's always got a foot in the air, and you just can't anchor doing that. You got to be able to time that up. And it seems to be the biggest issue, again, against wide alignments, which is why I wondered if putting him at guard helps a lot, because you protect him from that.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, the Eagles like their big guards. I always saw him as a tackle-only Williams. But...
He doesn't seem very powerful in the running game.
No, I haven't seen as much in this game. It's just the stuff on the move. That was a very strange block. I remember writing in my notes about how far forward he leans in the run game. And you could seriously see it on the last one. He was basically on the floor trying to block the guy. There's no way you're going to get any power generated if you're that far away from your body. Oh, QB run.
Yeah, no kidding.
My God. How many of these are just
That was a nice little move.
Woo.
Nice little move from the running back.
Look how tall he is in his stance compared to the others, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at when they're all in line. You can see they're so much lower. That's a pretty good rep. You can see he gets that quickly. You can see he moves.
He's getting to a guy that's wide in the run game here, where he can go attack him.
Look how quickly he gets to him. You wish he finished.
His movement skills work a lot better going forward than they do going backwards. Oh, that's terrible.
Was that him on the ground? Yeah,
that snap might have come early. It doesn't look like anybody was ready for it.
Oh, he wasn't ready. I don't know what happened. He got blown up.
Oh, no.
I think he got pushed by his... Did he fall over 86? I don't know. Did he get pushed by his own gut? I don't know. No.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Like a bear hug.
Yeah. But yeah, like, he's really athletic. It just doesn't translate into his pass set super well, I feel like.
No. Yeah, it's weird that they ran so much at the start where he was on the move. It's a lovely play. And then they seem to have just stopped doing it since the beginning, which is annoying for us.
Yeah.
Because it's always
now
easier
we're back to the bad view.
Well, no,
That
it gives
was
you a different
better.
perspective. Like, that's good. That's where he got out. That's where he got out and seeing. You can see the arm length there as well, can't you? You can see how far away the guy is from his body.
Yeah,
That was.
that's
I don't know
terrible.
what they were trying to run there. All worked out in the end.
I don't know
Across
who
the
he
face
was
of
trying to block, but it was none of the.
me neither. There was
It was none of the
them.
three unblocked guys directly in front of him.
Well, they all managed to run into each other, so it worked anyway. Just like they drew it out.
Yeah, college offense. Let's draw up a play where we leave three guys unblocked and they'll run into each other.
That was the most college offense bad play for scouting you've ever seen. That one just there, like, you can learn nothing. You can see he's quick. As in speed of mind as well. You can see he tries to adjust there 1 to 2.
See, he just keeps walking backwards. I wish we had the back view of that one, but he just walks backwards once he has contact and pass
as
pro.
well. I wish we had more proper pass sets. Like, that's a good rep, although I think he meant, because I think he got done at the start. I don't know when you watched that one again. I think that's the case where I didn't actually like his recovery quite a lot in the other games I watched. But he loses there, but he's got enough. But even when he pushes him, he's off balance. When he hits the guy, he lunges. You can see both of them are raw. Like, he's lunging a little bit.
He
here,
loses quickly here, but he does recover to get
look
hands
how quickly
on.
he gets back here. But when he pushes here, there's just like, it's just, again, he does all right there. You can't kill him for that one. And again, I do want to see them lose and how they recover.
TJ
You're gonna
Watt would
lose in
kill
the
him for
NFL.
that one.
Yeah, you're going to lose. Like, it's going to happen all the time, sadly. Wow. I don't know what happened there. Again, another one where we got shoved. Like, that's really good. That's the same as Hinton. You can see the flashes, can't you? That's why I liked him. The pass set, to me, it looks easy, as in movement-wise, when he does stuff like that. You'd like to see him finish the linebacker.
I'm having a really hard time not seeing this number 55 for Michigan be Brandon Graham.
Did you just look up who he was?
Like, no, Brandon Graham played for Michigan and he was number 55,
Yeah,
and
you
so
just
I
see
keep
the
seeing
same player.
55, and I keep wanting to see. Actually, I think is that Mason Graham? I think it is, because I think it actually says Graham on the back of his jersey too. It is. That's funny. I didn't even realize that. Continuing the great tradition of Grahams that wear 55.
Yeah. Like there, for example, it works. So why do you not do it as a college offense? But you just want to see, if you're a scout, you just want to see the guy in pass protection more. But then again, when you're scouting, how old school is it that we want to see him to get to a 7-step drop? And how long do the Eagles run that? I mean, you do on 3rd and long, but they don't. The game's changing, and you don't always need to be able to drop. It's one of the first times I've seen him go and engage with someone. Both of them have been very passive in the run game in this particular game. Like that, right? That's what I.
They don't seem to have a problem.
Can we watch that one again? Because I know there was always a reason why. Sorry, the one before. This is one of the hardest blocks in the NFL. Is a reach block of a guy who's the other side of you. If you pulls it pre-snap, so he's lined up where significantly, and you can see he's got his eyes. He knows he's going inside there. That's a long distance. Like, that's not easy. That's really not easy. I'm no O-line guru, but I know that a reach block when the guy is a yard away. That's what I mean by upside. Like, that's not the block that I think you see everyone do. That's a good block as well.
And they don't have a problem asking him to do that.
No.
They've done it
the fact
several
they
times.
ask him to do it. We talk a lot about coaches are the best people for telling you, like, and when he does that, and when that happens. But coaches will tell you what they think of a player by how they ask them. If you're asking the guy to reach block a guy, funny enough, he actually tried to do it there. He literally tries to do the same thing. And the fact once again, they ask him to do it. And he moved really well at the start, then he just can't carry it on. But you can see the movement, like, you can see it. The fact they're asking him to even do that. God, I was going to say he looked strong there, but I think it was a corner rushing him, which is why. was like, geez, he shoved that guy off easily until I realised it was a defensive back. Once again, they're asking him to get inside. He does a good job there. That's a lovely throw.
Yeah, that's nice.
I still think I can see more splash with Williams than I can with Hinton. And I know I should be biased because I liked him more. Just in terms of the last two plays, for example, the fact they asked, and again, this is where NFL's so hard because it could just be that they didn't ask Hinton to do it.
That was a nice.
Again, he wins
rep.
there, but see, watch it again because does he win with his technique great, or is he just winning by sort of athleticism and his drop? Because I don't know if he's very synced up. Really, look at his position there.
Yeah,
like he wins, but I think he's winning in a way that you don't necessarily want him to win, and that's when we talk about him just being extremely, like, he's just strong. He's big and strong, not very technical.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really raw. I mean, as you could guess from being a one-year starter, but he's a really raw player.
Sorry. Look at that play again. Like, just pre-snap. Look before they ask him. Look at they're asking him to block consistently. Once again, it's a free technique lined inside. Like, they're pretty consistently asking him. And again, it doesn't mean that Hinton, this is the joys of scouting. I have like an internal monologue when I do shows like this because it's like, but just because they're not asked to, it doesn't mean they can't do it. But you didn't see Hinton asked to sort of make a reach block like that once.
Yeah.
Sure
as the film's kind of looks like this is the last play here.
Yeah. And once again, it's a very similar thing they've asked him to do. That time he couldn't get there. Yeah, they look similar, don't they? In all honesty, you wouldn't say one is... I liked Williams more, and I still do, just because I see more upside. Because the difference is, I don't know how much they've played, but when you compare the films, and I would say they're not too dissimilar, he's only got 1 year of starting experience. So he has played right tackle only for 1 year, whereas I'm pretty sure, and you have the numbers, Hinton's played more. I mean, he definitely played for the last 2 seasons, didn't he? So I feel like, in a weird way, that's why I was surprised one went before the other. No one that liked Cam Williams was saying he's ready to be a superstar now. It's just when you watch that film, he looks raw, but then if I told you that's his first year starting, there are traits there that are easy to like. Let's put it that way.
So, Williams has played 1,100 snaps at right tackle. Hinton played 1,200 snaps at right tackle, and then he switched to left tackle for 2024. Yeah. So he basically has Cameron Williams snaps plus a year of left tackle snaps, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'd expect it
I
to
feel
look
like
a little
watching the two guys...
better.
Yeah, I feel like watching the two guys... if you had to put one out there to play this year, you would rather it be Myles Hinton.
Yes,
however, if you have to put
well.
one of those guys out there this year, it's probably a disaster either way. But long term, I do like the upside of Cameron Williams a little more. But again, the Eagles took Myles Hinton first. They told you what they think. They liked Myles Hinton obviously better than Cameron Williams. I like Williams' upside a little better. I think they both have some flaws though. So Williams is a more athletic mover. He's a lot more raw. And I think Hinton is closer to his ceiling. I don't think his ceiling is as high as Williams, but Williams has a lot further to go to get there.
Yeah, and I also think my gut tells me one of them ends up at guard, just because it would make sense. I stick with Williams just because I like him more, but I can understand why they like Hinton as well. Hinton's more... I mean, both of them have got size. Both of them have got movement. Both of them have got movement traits. I think they both got very similar problems as well. Just like lack of technique, like strike timing and the ability to sustain. How many in both those games did you see a run block where you were like, he's moved the guy? You didn't see like natural movement skills. But considering their strength, I don't think it's often movement skills. I think it's probably technique. If your strike timing's off, if you hit the wrong part of the chest, you're not going to push them back. Same as Cam Williams. You saw him trying to block guys where his feet weren't set. So...
Yeah. So, yeah, there you have it, guys. Just some thoughts on Myles Hinton and Cameron Williams based off of a game of All-22 watch-along. I will say, I hope, allegedly, even though your audio has sounded choppy to me, it should upload and be better when I put it out on the podcast and Patreon platform. So I hope so, because you've been choppy since you came back. But fingers crossed
it's weird.
that smooths out all right.
The new system. To be honest, we almost need to try the system, don't we? To see how it goes. Yeah. We won't bore you with technical fun and games.
It's a good thing that we're doing this in the off season, so we've got some time to get it all sorted out. But
yes, or go back to an old system somehow if it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
I think my internet might be playing up as well, though, but it's not bad enough to cause problems. But let's not bore the Patreon after a 54-minute episode of O-Line.
Yeah, let's not bore the Patreon. He says after we watched O-Line film for almost an hour. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Jonny, do you have any final thoughts you want to kick out about the O-line duo or anything in particular before we get out of here?
No, I guess just finishing up like with the Eagles draft class in general. Like the odds are that the late round guys aren't going to make it because that's how it works. Harry said they drafted for upside to look for starters, and I believe him when it comes to the O-line, except for Kendall. But I like everyone that they drafted, and you can be very positive about draft picks, but at the end of the day, most of these guys that make it early days, they're the ones with real talent. You can see a significant difference, can't you? We're all very happy about the draft. I think most people will say the Eagles did very well, but there is a world where like it's Campbell and it's Makuba and it's very little else. That can happen. I think out of all the day three guys, the ones that I like the most would be Mondon. Is in from the All-22 just because of how explosive he was as an athlete. The rest of them was sort of what I expected. Nothing blew me away. And I think most people would agree that Power Island was the most disappointing one when you see it from the All-22 film. But he's also the one with the numbers. So the great thing about the draft is that it's a massive guessing game. And I'll leave people with that.
Yep. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of On the Shane Page. Again, audio listeners, video is in the Discord, patreon.com/On the Shane Page. You can get a free 1-week trial and you can check it out. Check out all of our backlog of content, and hopefully you'll stick around and hang out with us through the season. We are done with All-22 watch-alongs, and so unless we go do some later on this summer for like first-round pick, Jihad Campbell or something like that, Andrew Makuba. Other than that, we're probably done with those. And we'll be getting into some other content, maybe diving into some old Hertz All-22, bringing on some guests, talking about some different topics that we've been putting on the back burner for a while. So if you guys have ideas about that, feel free to hit us up. And we will catch you guys next week for another episode that we will figure out sometime between now and then.